Okay, this is like the fourth time I'm doing this video. I am totally out of it today. All the times I've done it, it's either my screen record wasn't recording or my camera wasn't recording. So let's try this again and hope that I don't have to do this another time around. But now I'm getting really good at it. So this should be the most professional video you've ever seen from me. So today we're going to be talking about what sold for June. I'm going to recap just some of the, I have a low for you and I have a couple highs for you. The best part about June is I actually sold 10 items less than I did in May and made more profit than I did in May total. So that was really good. Stick around when we recap the entire numbers of June. Let's get started on the crappiest sale I've had for June. So it was this cable knit sweater, Joe's Jeans, beige soft, cozy, size large. This was the very first item I picked up at Value Village when I had no idea what I was doing. And it was the first item I ever found that was a name brand, I guess, and was new with tags. And it was really pretty. It was a really, really nice sweater. It's very thick and lush, and you could tell that it was well made. But the unfortunate thing is that this took 243 days to sell. I think I had started at like maybe $50 for this item, but I ended up coming all the way down to 30. Someone picked it up for $30. My profit was $7.20. And like I said, I picked it up at Value Village and I paid $16 for this. And what a terrible buy. So if you're new, don't do what I did. Check your comps, make sure you're checking your sell through rate, and don't buy anything for $16 unless you're going to sell it for a lot more than 30. So let's get that out of the way. Now let's get to the good stuff. We're going to start off with this piece. This was so awesome. Let me go all the way back to the top here. I shared this on a haul a while ago, actually, maybe like a month and a half ago. I picked this up, and it actually only took 1 day to sell. I found this and I thought it was so funny and cute. I thought about Halloween. It was a vintage 80s prom dress with the sweetheart neckline, the sequin bow, metallic. And this is totally something I could see us wearing in the 80s and listening to Cyndi Lauper and bopping around. I loved the bow. I loved the sequin on it. It also kind of reminded me of like a figure skating dress. And for, I think it was just under $4 I paid for it. I thought, you know what, let's give it a chance. It's super cute. I even tried it on for my husband and he totally laughed. It was pretty funny. So again, sold in 1 day, asked for 50, they paid 50, and my profit was $31.43. So pretty exciting. Thought it was such a cute dress. And just goes to show you style base, using those keywords, that 80s prom dress, I think really put that in, did that well, right? All right, moving on to the next one. This is another one I wanted to share with you because it took a really long time and it is a very popular label, Eileen Fisher. I do not have good luck selling Eileen Fisher at all. I tend to always it stays in my closet all the time. And I know a lot of US resellers on YouTube swear by picking up Eileen Fisher that they do a really good job on it. And I thought this piece was going to do well. It had lots of factors. Eileen Fisher, it was an oversized log and look jacket. It was 100% linen. And I really thought this was going to sell a lot faster and for a lot more money. So I was kind of surprised. Let me know. Do you guys do well with Eileen Fisher? Because I don't. It just sits in my closet. So I think from now on, I probably won't be picking her up anytime soon, but please let me know in the comments below. I would love to find out if it's just me that can't sell Eileen Fisher or if it's kind of Canada in whole that have a hard time. But the stats on this one is it took 162 days to sell. I believe I started asking $85 for this at the beginning, but I went down to $65 and I took an offer for $59. My profit was great. It was $34.50. I am not complaining about that. That's an amazing profit. I was really happy with that. I just don't know why I can't sell it faster and for more money. So maybe it is just Canadian. Let me know. Okay, moving on to another great sale. And if you've been following me for a while or you watched my past videos, you would have seen how excited I was to find this piece. I picked this up at Talese, and why I even grabbed it in the blazer section was because of this tag. So the tag is stitched on like this. To me, well, and for usually the most part, it is going to be a higher end brand that has those tags that are just kind of stitched around the outside, or it looks a little bit different, or it looks expensive. Grab those and check those out, look them up, see what's going on, because it probably is a high end brand. This was my very first high end brand I've ever picked up. I actually picked it up for $12. This particular blazer is the Chamberlain blazer in black, and it was single button. It also was a size 18, which I thought was really great, and it should sell well. This actual blazer retails for, I think, five to $600, so that is really cool. I started pricing it at $225. Now, I knew this was going to take a while to sell. I mean, there is not a whole lot of people that are on Poshmark looking to spend, $225 on a blazer. So it did take 106 days to sell, which I was totally fine with. Again, there's not as many people out there looking for this kind of, or at least this most expensive thing, right? I had an offer for 180, and my profit was $134. This is so exciting. So I was so happy. This is my most profited item I've ever sold since I started selling in October of 2024. So I was very, 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 very excited. So a lot of like my profit margin in sales this month were just enormous. I am so, so happy and so grateful. So I want to share with you one more item, and it is a Viore men's XL seaside hoodie. I actually found this at the last bins pickup the last bins that I went to. This one came out on the bin, and it was right on top, and I saw it, and it was right in front of me too. That never happens. The thing never lands right in front of you, right? And I grabbed that so fast, and then when I looked at it, I couldn't believe it was Vuori. I've never seen one in the wild before, so I was kind of surprised. One of the things I've always wanted to try to find and pick up. It was in great condition and washed up really well. Being a men's extra large, I was very happy about that. So it only took 12 days to sell. I was asking 82. I took an offer for 72. My profit was $56.88. So happy and grateful. I couldn't be happier with the month of June and just my profit margins. They're just on fire. So let's wrap this up with the full numbers. I'll show you what those look like. So for June, I only sold 18 items. This is 10 items less than I sold in May. And my sales were just under May's sales. My profits were much higher. So my sales equaled $748. My cost of goods was an amazing $102. That is amazing. That is so, so good. I'm so happy with that. Fees were $153, and I profited $492. But check out my profit margin, 68%. I know this isn't going to happen all the time, and I wish it would. I guess it just depends on how well you can source and what you can find. But man, I'm so grateful and happy for this June. My profit margin is actually 10% higher than it was in May. So very exciting. All right, so that wraps up for June. I'm actually working on a video that will be talking about the entire first half of 2025. This next video, I'm actually going to be sharing my spreadsheet with you and I'm going to go over expenses as well. So I'm going to be super transparent in this one. And we're going to talk about, gross profits. We're going to talk about the most items that I sold. We're also going to talk about what sells better. Is it dresses, sweaters? And I'm going to show you all of that. So please check out in a couple of, I'm also working on an entire recap of the first half of 2025. So that video will be out in the next couple days. I'm going to be super transparent with you. I'm actually going to show you my spreadsheet and how I calculate everything. I'm going to talk about actually expenses as well in this one because I kind of wanted to lay everything out. I'll let you know which items are selling best. I'm also going to let you know which brands were the highest sellers for the first half of the year. So that should be out in a couple of days. So please check back. And until next time, happy reselling.